I've learned from you. Thank you very much for being here tonight, and thank you, John. Actually, if you said another nice word about me, I think people would think we're having some kind of relationship here, so I'm glad you cut it off.
We are.
Now I'm trying to find light I can actually see. Tonight is a special night for more than one reason. John and I met in 2003, and between the Soul football team and the foundation, we've been asked often to do events together where we both speak. All of the time, I was going to say most of the time, but really all of the time, I've always been scheduled to go first. So 2, 3, 4 years into the relationship, I felt bad. So I went up to John, and he may or may not remember, because we had had a couple drinks before that, at the Borgata. I said, John, would you like to go before me tonight? And he looked at me with that special grin, that's when you're supposed to grin, that only he has, and he said, I don't open for anyone. Yes? Do you remember that? So, it took 11 years. And no. Not the foundation, not the football team. It took the Covenant House for John tonight to open for me. And I was going to do the hashtag thing from the last ribbon cutting, but I couldn't go there. This is a big deal. It's a big deal for John to be here. There's a lot of stress on his time, and for him to show up tonight, not only for the Covenant House, because we actually, when we started the football team in 2003, before we ever played it down, which was 2004, we set aside $200,000. We picked 4 charities because, as John said, we decided to make a difference in the world, and we would use the team to do it. One of those 4 charities was Covenant House. And the reason we got to them was because Leo Carlin, who has been part of us since day one, and they needed beds. So we gave them $50,000 way back when. That's how long the relationship goes. And we're very proud to be part of it. But for John to be here, it is a Covenant House, it is me, and this is a big deal. So what I would like everybody to do, and I don't know whether he's going to go along with this or not, but I would like everybody to stand up right now, if you would, please, everybody. That includes my kids that are sitting right over here. Everybody. And on the count of 3, I would like you to give us a huge round of applause for what's happened tonight, which is the most successful night in the history of the Philadelphia Covenant House. So 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. They gave me 2 minutes. I'm 1:10 in, and I'm way behind. Just so you know, by the way, that applause was actually for me, not him. I'm the honoree tonight. You okay with that?
I'm okay.
All right. I am the honoree, but I don't consider myself the honoree. I appreciate it, but this honor really belongs to the entire JBJ Soul Foundation board. It's an amazing group of people. Our board continues to put countless hours to make sure that the work of the foundation gets done, but they rarely get the public recognition that they so very much deserve. Originally, I was asked the foundation to come up on stage. Half of them said no, the other, well then they said no, you don't have time. So I would like all the foundation members to at least stand up and be recognized that are here tonight. And would everybody give them a round of applause? This group of people came together 11 years ago to establish the Soul football team. And that same group of people went on to become the original members of the JBJ Soul Foundation. The fact that we started together and remain together today is a testament to their commitment to helping others and not just themselves. So thank you very much for being here. And I guess no one came up, right? Okay. What I want to do now, because I knew they wouldn't come up, is at least put their pictures up here behind me so you know who they are. In case you run into them tonight, you run into them tomorrow, or you run into them in the future. You know who these people are because they work and work and work, and without them, none of this happens. So hopefully the IT folks have it right. And we're going to start with, quickly, Sarah Peters. And I'm going to give you the quick connection. And if you keep applauding, they will literally do one of those Academy Award things and yank me off the stage, so we'll go quickly. Sarah Peters started as the Director of Office Operations for the Soul. She's now the Secretary of the Foundation. Heather Goldfarb started as the Director of Community Relations and now serves as the Assistant Treasurer. Sister Mary is the only one on our board that joined us later, but Sister Mary has a direct contact to somebody up there, so we absolutely had to include her tonight. She's a valued board member. Paul Corzelius is not here tonight, but Paul's been with Jon for well over 20 years. He actually served as an interim GM for the Soul, and he serves as the treasurer of the foundation. Steve Perna is here tonight. Steve was part of the original Soul ownership group and serves as the vice president of the foundation. Ron Jaworski. You can absolutely laugh because Ron is not here tonight. Ron Jaworski is part of the Soul ownership group, retains the position of president, and now serves as a board member. And Ron, had you been here, you would never see those pictures. Mimi Box, she's the heart and soul and everything that we do. It's the first time, when I met Mimi, I was introduced to her. Mimi used to run the Eagles, although nobody knows it. And we were looking for somebody to sort of take control of this football team that Jon and I were building. And so somebody said, you have to meet Mimi. I met Mimi. We had a 2.5-hour interview, at the end of which she said to me, okay, you did okay in the interview. I'll let you know tomorrow. It's the first time I've ever been interviewed about hiring somebody for a job. She came in and became our CFO, our COO, and ran our team until the day she left to become executive director of the foundation. So Mimi, for all the work you do. And by the way, that goes for Heather as well. Heather and Mimi are the two that are on the ground 24/7 for this foundation. Finally, Leo Carlin, who is part of the reason we're here tonight. Leo is an amazing human being. His father's here tonight, and I told his father earlier tonight, you raised an incredible son. Leo is part of the Soul ownership group from day one. Leo is a longtime board member of the Covenant House. That's how we first got involved in 2003. And that's the reason we're involved today. And Leo actually serves as president of the foundation. So Leo, thank you very much. How am I doing on that 2-minute time frame?
You're good. You're good.
Finally, this guy behind me. He's an amazing human being. And I tried to cut it down. I mean, it originally was pages of notes. And I knew he wouldn't want it. It's supposedly not about him, but it really is. So I cut it down to a couple very short paragraphs. And I'll tell you this. When you ask people about Jon Bon Jovi, you out in the audience who don't know him, here's what they're going to talk about. 30 years as the leader of one of the most successful bands in the history of music. 135 million albums sold, 96 worldwide #1 debuts, 37 million fans they've played in front of in 50 different countries, and I could keep going. Now here's the great thing. When you ask him to talk about him, those words don't come out of his mouth. You know what he says? Here's what he says. He talks about the millions of dollars that we at the foundation, through the support of the board members and our friends, have been able to give away or grant to housing projects. The more than 450 units that we've built from the foundation. The thousands of lives that we've impacted positively by this foundation. The 23,000 meals that we've served so far out of the Soul Kitchen, which that number will grow exponentially as we add additional Soul Kitchens. And on and on and on. And I think you get my point. In 2012, President Obama got the point. He named Jon to the White House Council for Community Solutions, which is the organization designed to fix problems in our cities. And then just this past week, I don't even know if you know this, Jon, but I get calls often about people doing articles and stories on Jon, and they always want to know about him. So I get hit with somebody that's known him a long time from a bunch of different worlds. And so I'm doing an interview for USA Today and this reporter. And we talked for a while, and we were talking about the charitable work that Jon does. So after talking for a while, this reporter said to me, and I wanted to quote it, and I actually wrote it down. Many entertainers use charities to build their celebrity. So what makes Jon Bon Jovi, sorry about that. Bon Jovi. So what makes Jon Bon Jovi any different? And my answer was quick and it was to the point. Other people use charities to build their celebrity. Jon uses his celebrity to build the charity. And that is a huge difference. And it's what he wakes up for, it's what he lives for, it's what he breathes for, and we're lucky to be part of it. So Jon, thank you very much. I'm going so long, I'm going to keep going. The last thing I'll say, which Leo talked about earlier, and Jon hates to hear this, but it is true. And I'll make this statement. Jon has shown us all that the power of we can change the... I know, for those of you that were earlier, Leo, I had it before you. The power of we can change the world one soul at a time. So thanks, Jon. And then a couple of quick things. I have to thank my family for being here very, very quick. To Barbara, BJ, who knows her well. Thank you for 28 years. It's been a long road, and we're having a great time. My wife has started a very successful interior design business, and I'm going to go quickly. Ariel, my daughter, sitting there, just finishing her first year at Drexel Law. Taylor, sitting there, just finishing her junior year at the University of Pennsylvania. Max, my son, graduating from the Haverford School and going to the University of Florida, my alma mater in the fall. Jake, my baby, and I know you hate that. Jake's just finishing 6th grade, and what he doesn't know yet is we are never, ever, ever going to let him move out of the house. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being there with the ups and supporting me in the downs. And then last thing, and actually the most important thing, Covenant House. Kevin, Jon, all that you do. You're honoring us tonight, but we talked about it, and we think you guys actually got it backwards. It's not you honoring us. It's us that honors your organization for all the great work you do helping children in need. You provide them with a safe home. You provide them with a hot meal. You provide them with social services, job training. You help them get into school. And most importantly, you give these kids an opportunity, these amazing young people, which you're going to meet tonight through video or in person when Cheryl speaks. You give these amazing young people an opportunity that they could not have dreamt about, not in their wildest dreams dreamt about until they walked through the doors of Covenant House. So thank you to Covenant House. Thank you for allowing us to be a small part of what you do. Thank you for tonight. We look forward to supporting you tonight and to supporting you in the future. Thank you. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of the show.
A couple of our young people at Covenant House want to present the foundation and Craig with a small token of our appreciation for your leadership and support.